Thank you, Chair. It's also on the communication or rather media contracts. The two companies. Earlier on, I think one member mentioned how one of those two contracts, the expenditure framework of that contract is not in line with the allocated budget of the contract. I think it was Chair who said, by now, we think that 500 million has been depleted. Now, obviously, they will come back to account for those things. But where it irks me the most is that there has been a posture that was taken at RAF. And unfortunately, also yourselves could not give us a satisfaction or comfort as to who actually took this decision of not communicating to the public on how to approach and have full access to RAF on the processes of how to go about their claims. That includes the closure of offices which are satellites in certain remote areas. Now, what irks me the most is, what are these two companies communicating? If they are not talking to that person in Kwakwa, Kwanongoma, Ecofimvaba, akho road shows, gazebos were taken, stationery, your pamphlets, posters, anything that has to do with communication to the public, which actually are sole beneficiaries of RAF, has stopped. And until today, we still don't know who took that decision. And that's my best interest again. I want to know who took that decision. Because that which Dr. Mabuyana was saying, agreeing with us that the sole beneficiaries at this point are service providers, not the people. And then the RAF also is helping the situation by not attracting the victims to come and benefit. Now, when these contracts were presented to you, what was the scope? What is it that they were going to do there? What are they communicating? They are media for RAF and everything, but I failed to put a finger on the fundamental question, or rather duty, as to what is it that they do. If we can be helped there, maybe we will have some comfort. I'll add the other one when I get there.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair and Honourable Member. The road shows was really trying to create an awareness of the services of the RAF, especially to remote areas where there were no local offices or even satellite offices. I think the road shows were basically reaching out to communities that previously disadvantaged communities to try and make the RAF accessible. I remember there was the medical services bus where they were helping drivers on the road with medical tests, and even assisting students in terms of crossing roads and stuff like that. It was also part of the awareness sessions to assist the people on the ground there, as well as drivers on the road. So it was a safety awareness plus also media outreach to say that this is what we do, and also you can now access, if you choose so, in terms of the law, come directly to us. We will fast track your process, because, and also giving them the minimum requirements so that they know whatever happens, this is what the first minimum requirements that you needed to get. So it was really basically an awareness campaign to make the RAF services accessible to people who wouldn't really have easy access. And we've seen benefits, you know, in that as well. And the community, I mean, I think it would have been also interesting if we had witnesses who were claimants really sharing their experiences, because there were times that they shared information around their experiences within RAF. The rehabilitation processes also, we were reaching out because there were programs that were ongoing in terms of rehabilitating a claimant who has been involved in a car accident. So there were a lot of benefits that came out of that. So, but what we did not foresee was the abuse really of the contracts and whoever made the decision to stop it. I mean, who would? Because the CEO is the ultimate head of the operational RAF at the end of the day, if that decision wasn't taken by the board.
Chair, I just want to add, the board approves a budget. That's really our real oversight. We approve a budget, and within the budget, we make sure we stay within this budget to achieve certain strategic objectives. So the decision ultimately is delegated. The implementer is always the office of the CEO who does this. The money that was spent outside the delegated authority should have been reported back to the board. If there is now a huge deviation that says now we're moving from 500 million to whatever amount, that is the correct way to do things, because now we are taking a decision that impacts financially on the organization. The decision to stop RAF on the bus and all that sort of thing, it was a matter that was discussed at a strategy session at some stage. It was a matter of, can we review what works, what is impactful, and that sort of thing. That part was part of a discussion that happened. There is no resolution of the board, Honorable Mente, that says stop doing this. The review was around, can we do an impact assessment of everything we do? What do we need to streamline to live within budget? And what else can we add to improve access of claimants into the fund? So that deviation that happened should have been reported to the board, even at the Audit and Risk Committee. And that's just what we approve a budget. And if it goes beyond, that is not supposed to be like it. It's supposed to come to us. We look at the issues. At some stage, we even at times need approval from National Treasury when things go that bad. So anything that's not brought to the board, obviously we are not aware of it, but there is a process of allowing, deviation, and up to 10%. 60